Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair.
Dude.
If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have gills, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Oh, look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee? I don't drink coffee. You sure? It's cultist coffee. What makes it cultist coffee? I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it. Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Good morning. Another cold morning. I am beyond tired of this. I hate having to deal with all of the cold. But welcome. I do have hot coffee this morning at least, so we've got that going for us. Hopefully you've been keeping warm. I said there is not an ounce of kerosene around, 100 miles from my house, I'm sure. So, and I know people also have it worse than we've got it here in Alabama. And I was hoping, but hoping we were getting out of this, but it's going to get cold again tonight. And it's just irritating. Let's see here. I got something. Weird pop-up over here. I hope everybody is doing well. So welcome to the morning grind. Let me bring up these links here. BGD, we're going to be working on is here. We got Lynn, Daniel, James. Good morning. BGD put a very interesting challenge to us. In the Discord server. Where's my Shadowdark book? Oh, here it is. So we'll be working on the Shadowdark one-shot dungeon. And BGD put a very interesting challenge to us yesterday, or maybe I guess it was yesterday in the Discord server, about putting a timer on the dungeon design and trying to get it done. And I think that's a good point. We'll talk about an interesting challenge. And it's also a good point that we want to have that what's the purpose of this anyway? It's different. Like, I think we can definitely get a playable dungeon ready. Bullet points, like he was talking about. If you were trying to get this ready for a game one night, could you just write out bullet points and things like that? We're probably getting pretty close, and probably so. So if you're trying to write it out as something that could be published or that you're going to put out to the world, that's one thing. If you're just trying to take notes and get an adventure to go to ready that night, that's a different thing. So I bet maybe we could. Yes, at least it is back into the mid 60s next week. So it's going to be like spring next week, at least here in Alabama. So we got a little bit more to get through. And then I'll get life back again. Lots of people are saying, oh, you got 3 inches of snow last night? Wow. Good morning, Sable. Good morning. We did get above freezing here. We went back below it last night. Hey, Michael. Hey, Michael. So that's what we're going to be doing over here. Let's see. Yesterday, I was trying to bring up table talk last night. We had a fantastic conversation last night on Table Talk. We got 2 Doug shows last week, or this week. This week we had 2 shows with Doug this week, because yesterday wait, where am I? Oh, live streams right here, past live streams. So we just did a show last night with Cameron and Doug. So Cameron got to join us. He is one of the internet's favorites, but especially around here. So Cameron was on the show specifically talking about women and the Heroine's Labyrinth, because Doug is going to be releasing the Heroine's Labyrinth next month. So we have been which is getting closer, man. We are bleeding time in January here. It is already January 19th. So we've been kind of focusing on live streams that deal with female heroes, women in story, and we'll continue to be doing that for another couple of weeks in preparation for Doug to launch the Heroine's Labyrinth book. And of course, I'm very happy about that. I've been doing clips for him too. I really think the Heroine's Labyrinth is going to be big. It's not one of those things, I don't think, that's like, oh my God, the latest new comic book is dropping. And so, it goes, huge in the first week or something like that. But the Heroine's Labyrinth, if you don't know, it's an alternative. That's Doug's alternative to the hero's journey, a story structure. It's an alternative to the hero's journey for stories, whether that's movies, books, TV shows, that often feature feminine characters, and that means often female. But we even talked about last night the difference between the masculine and the feminine, and the male and the female, and what exactly that means, because Doug has given examples of male characters who are going through the Heroine's Labyrinth, even characters like Batman and Captain Kirk at times. So I've been clipping stuff for him. Once he gets a pre-order link, I'm going to put clips out on the channel. I got about 20 clips from our previous episodes together about the Heroine's Labyrinth, and I'm going to clip that one too that we did with Cameron. And I think that in the medium to long term, a lot of people are going to find that theory of story structure fascinating, and going to it's really going to be something. I know January is getting close; it's getting over. So if you didn't see that, I highly recommend checking out the Table Talk channel and looking up the depiction of women heroes in story. That was a fantastic conversation last night. We got to talk about some heroines that we haven't talked about very often. We haven't talked about Éowyn very often. We talked about her last night. We also talked about Daenerys and Sansa Stark and Arya Stark. So that was great as well. So that's what was going on. Oh no, I have all my notifications on silent when I'm on stream. So I don't, if you send messages, that's no problem. I don't hear them. I don't hear them when I'm on stream. Good morning, Brent. Good morning. Good morning. So that is going over. That's going on. we're going to be working on our dungeon today, but and then I've been trying to figure out exactly. The cold has actually kind of screwed up my travel plans a little bit, just because I'm not quite prepared. But I'm still planning on going down to Neutral Zone Studios this weekend, although I probably will not leave. I'm not going to leave right after this stream. It turns out the travel arrangements might mean that I don't shoot the morning grind tomorrow. We might do the morning grind from Neutral Zone Studios on Sunday. I'll let everybody know in the Discord server. Speaking of which, I should drop the Discord server link in here. Whoop. BGD also sent us a workup for our dungeon, one of the different rooms, and I haven't looked at it yet. I got it in last night after the stream. So Discord server right here. If you want to join the Ravenkeep Discord server, keep track of what's going on, it's right there. And then we're going to be going to, I hope that it starts to be next week that we're really on the cultists. I was making up some videos yesterday to go with the online coffee shop so we can play games. We're going to run a test of that on next Friday. That's the plan. But I want to talk about some game design. So game design and relaunch of The Cultists. The Cultist is my comedy web show about a group of modern-day Lovecraftian cultists who just want to worship Cthulhu in a world full of people who don't understand. It's shot in mockumentary-style fashion. It was a lot of fun. There are 20 episodes, the first 3 of which are on this channel. So it's a complete relaunch over here. I hope you will join us, and we'll see what we can do. We can see what we can do. I'd really like to be able to demonstrate that there's some type of viable model or way to be able to do original web shows and have it be financially sustainable. Let's put it that way. It's financially sustainable in a way that we can keep going and we can keep creating new stories in a sustainable way. So that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to do. Your support on this channel allows us to do things like not only this live stream, but the Table Talk live streams, bringing on guests. And then also, if we get more support, I'm trying to ramp up here. We're trying to do more. We started the wheel turning last year in 2023. I think the wheel is going to accelerate this time to be able to get back to doing dinner and a board games. I really want to be able to do more dinner and a board games. I really want to be able to do to finish up the Cultists, get its games out, do another season of the Cultists. Being able to do another season of the Cultists would be great. Maybe do a couple of other live shows, although not on the level of the Cultists as far as the amount out there. And then also begin to work on other stories as well. Get a system going to get stuff done. So also, if you would like to come and play, oh, hey, PH, good morning. Yes, please do hit the like button. Good morning. I put a video out specifically yesterday on using the Shadowdark. Michael says, I want the Wingman crew. I don't know who the Wingman crew is to create an original story so they can monetize it. I'm not sure who that is. But if you would like to play games with us, I put a dedicated video on this channel yesterday about how to use the Shadowdark VTT. And I have a few more videos like that to make so that people can watch on video about how to play a game or exactly what they need to be doing or how to operate before the gaming coffee shop goes live, the online gaming coffee shop. So this is a place where we can come get together as a community, hang out in a virtual environment. It's a coffee shop. You can walk around with your avatar. Then you sit down with a bunch of different people at a particular table, and then you connect to a VTT. And I built out Hero Quest and Shadowdark and Dragon Strike, One Night Werewolf, Secret Hitler, Wizard's Quest, Dominion. We can add more in the future, but we got like 7 games already right now that we could sit down and we could play, and it works well. So we'll do a test with about 10 people next weekend. If you'd like to be a part of that, come on in. Then we'll organize an event. Oh, so Wingman is a Star Wars fan film that just came out. It's better than anything Disney Star Wars is making. Oh, well, I'm going to make a note of that. Look up Wingman Star Wars. Okay, will do. Let's see. All right, let's do our morning reading this morning. And then we'll try to make a dungeon here. Let me take this down. Everybody got your coffee ready? My coffee's ready. It's already gotten cold here. All right, so here we go. Got your coffee or whatever it is that you're drinking this morning or afternoon or whatever it is at the time where you are. Let's do 2 deep breaths, deep inhales, complete exhales, in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then we'll take a sip of our favorite beverage this morning. So here we go. Let's breathe. In. And sip. All right, now let's read from Turning Pro by Stephen Pressfield. We really need to get Stephen Pressfield on Table Talk. We need to be able to get Stephen Pressfield on Table Talk. I want to cover his the book, The Gates of Fire. But we also, he's been so inspirational here on this channel. So, my years in the wilderness. In a way, I was lucky that I experienced failure for so many years because there were no conventional rewards. I was forced to ask myself, why am I doing this? Am I crazy? All my friends are making money and settling down and living normal lives. What the hell am I doing? Am I nuts? What's wrong with me? In the end, I noticed this question by realizing that I had no choice. In the end, I answered this question by realizing that I had no choice. I couldn't do anything else. When I tried, I got so depressed I couldn't stand it. So I wrote yet another novel or a screenplay that I couldn't sell. I had no choice but to write another after that. The truth was, I was enjoying myself. Maybe nobody else liked the stuff I was doing, but I did. I was learning. I was getting better. The work became, in its own demented way, a practice. It sustained me, and it sustains me still. The professional mindset as a practice. What is a practice anyway? To have a practice in yoga, say, or Tai Chi or calligraphy, is to follow a rigorous prescribed regimen with the intention of elevating the mind and the spirit to a higher level. A practice implies engagement in a ritual. A practice may be defined as the dedicated daily exercise of commitment, will, and focused intention aimed on one level at the achievement of mastery in a field, but on a loftier level intended to produce a communion with a power greater than ourselves. Call it whatever you like. God, mind, soul, self, the muse, the superconscious. The following are aspects of any practice. So we will get into, so that's going to be aspects of practice starting tomorrow. Sable says, Wingman, an X-Wing story. It's pretty outstanding what a bunch of people who don't speak English natively and have never made a film before have been able to accomplish. Oh, well, I can't wait to see this. I'll watch it after the show. Okay, let's pull up the notes here. All right, so here we go. Man, I'm probably going to have to already warm up the coffee here soon. Maybe before the timers start. All right, so I'm not going to go back and go through all of this. But we're working on a one-shot dungeon in like 3 sentences, where the idea is that you're going in to investigate this undead that have been coming out and ravaging the land. You track them back to this barrow. So the adventure is going to start at the barrow. The undead have been activated because a jewel has been removed from its place with this ogre chieftain who is now undead, and his soldiers were buried with him. And you go in and you actually find the thief. That's what we were working with mainly yesterday. The thief didn't make it out with the gem. The gem is still in the tomb, although it's not something that the undead could find. And you could try to kill all of the undead or defeat all of the undead conventionally, although I think this ogre, we may have to change what he is. An ogre may be too powerful. But another way to defeat the dungeon is to restore the gem, and then you give up whatever powers the gem has. Obviously, if you defeat all the undead, if you do defeat all the undead, then you can keep the gem and have its power. But if you can't defeat the undead, then give up the gem. So that's basically where we were. We were thinking about this, how to get the gem out of the crevasse that it's in, and I have thoughts on that. But let me go over here and tell you what BGD was saying. So I think this does, like, what is the purpose here? We had a design purpose right here, up here at the top, our design purpose. Design goal, one-shot dungeon adventure suitable for starting level characters that feature classic Dark Age fantasy themes and powers. But, I think that this goes along with what BGD was saying, was that we never really established a deliverable. And so what is it that we are trying to create here? And by this I mean, are we trying to create a fully written publisher adventure? Because that's one thing. Or on the other side of things, or are we trying to, or are we trying to get the basics of this dungeon done in GM note style, playable that night, playable. And that's a good question, because it's going to depend on, how much time we spend on different aspects of that is going to depend. Yeah, Michael says, based on the power level of the party, goblin, orc, hobgoblin, ogre, or troll, orc or troll could be it, right? Yeah, I wasn't familiar necessarily with what different kinds of levels. Like the ogre in Shadowdark is level 6, so that's a pretty rough one if it's coming in early. Good morning, Tomocrat. Good morning. Because I even think, like, we didn't spend a whole lot of time detailing that initial fight with the undead goblin guards. Ow. Oh. Oh, I just got a splinter underneath my nail. Oh, that's painful. I just scratched myself on my desk and got a splinter under my nail. Hang on just one second, guys. Okay. Found tweezers, took care of that. Thank you for staying with me. That was painful. But all right, taken care of. All right. Good morning, Robert. Good morning. Okay. Where was I? So this is important too, the design goal, but also we need to keep in mind the deliverable. I was saying that even though I think we need to go back and touch up the main crux of this dungeon was what was happening with the thief and this gem, and we were making that the puzzle. And so that did take some thought. Like the opening fight with the goblin undead takes less, but I still think it needs something like the timer, like BGD talks about, and things that will make that one a little bit different and memorable. But my point was that even if all we were doing was GM note style, we might be able to even already run that. Hey, Jason. Yeah, it's maybe I do. It was a part underneath the desk here. All right, so we do need to figure that out. So if we do this, if we set a timer and go GM note style, I believe we'll be able to get this done. Okay. So here is what BGD was saying. Morning grind here. So BGD was saying that we could set a countdown timer of 12 minutes for each area to define the following: a bullet point description of the encounter using at least 2 senses. Oh, using at least 2 senses. This is it. Okay, that's interesting. Let me go over here. So we've got our different scenes right here. Description of the scene, 2 senses. The timer aspect, any aspect of the encounter that changes each round or after a set number of rounds. So we got timer right here. 3, the threat aspect of the encounter, challenge tuned monsters and or environmental hazard that populates this area, including number, physical descriptions, and RP protocol. Monster AI. 3, treat aspect of the encounter, treasure and or useful interactive items, including quantity and location. And 4, any pertinent creature stats or area specific in-game mechanics. So threat, creature stats, or mechanics. That gives you 3 minutes to define each one of these aspects. So that's it's a great challenge. So that's it. You got 3 minutes, and can you design a whole 5-room dungeon using that? And then BGD has also already written out as an example our third part of the barrow. And I have not looked at it yet. But we will look at that when we get to area 3. So we will see his example right here. Or we could jump ahead. In fact, let's go ahead and jump ahead and see what he has done for area 3, and then we'll come back and start with area 1 and go through that. Let's do that. I'm going to copy this into our notes rather than having to bring up show a separate thing on screen. Let's do this. Thank you so much for this, BGD. So this is fun. Okay, so room 3, which I don't think we had. Okay, so the room 3, we didn't have anything here yet. Thank you. Big set. So room 3 is supposed to be the big setback. All right, so let's put in our example here. And this example is by BGD right here. Area 3, Raging Winds. An example, a write-up by BGD right here. All right, so as an example of what we're doing, here's what we got right here. Okay, area 3, description. At the end of a short corridor leading from area 2, a 10-foot wide round shaft descends over 100 feet straight down into the darkness. There are 7 rough-hewn rock ledges approximately 5 feet wide, projecting 1 to 2 feet into the lumen of the slick-sided shaft, the walls of which grant no other significant purchase. Each ledge presents a treacherous leap of approximately 15 feet down and over across to the next ledge on the descent to the bottom, where presumably the tunnel continues underground. If a character misses a dex check, that character will be left hanging by a hand from the intended landing ledge. See below. A strange, gentle updraft rises from the depths, bringing musty odors to the nostrils of anyone climbing or jumping down. The breeze whistles ominously through the shaft. Our timer. In D4 rounds, see, this is supposed to be, okay, the big setback. In D4 rounds, the speed and force of the updraft multiplies violently, causing all torches to be extinguished and any character not secured to the walls or ledges or roped to another character must pass a dex check or fall off the edge of the current platform and hang by a hand. See below. The deadly updraft subsides quickly but will repeat every D4 rounds thereafter. Threat. If the torches go out, flip a coin. If heads is the result, D2 giant spiders skitter from the shadows and attack. And we have the giant spider, from the Shadowdark, GM's quick start guide. Bulbous abdomen and 8 spindly legs, ambush hunter. Level 3. DC 12 con or paralyzed by D4 for 1d4 hours. Treat. A coiled hemp rope 30 feet down in length is partially tucked behind a rock on the third ledge down. Using the rope in an appropriate way allows descending dex checks to be rolled with advantage. Mechanic. Falling. Mechanics inspired by J.D. Sterling's Jewel of the Monkey God. Hanging by a hand. Any character with a free hand who is displaced from a ledge on the descent by the raging wind will be left hanging by a hand over the precipice. A strength check is required to climb back up to a position where it is safe to continue to descend. So any character with a free hand who is displaced from a ledge will be hanging by a hand. Hanging by a finger. Any character hanging by a hand who fails the strength check above will be left hanging by a finger, a position from which self-rescue is no longer an option. Each round at the start of the PC's turn, the character must roll strength. If the check is failed, the character plummets through the darkness and impacts the gravel scree below. Falling damage. Falling damage. A character who suffers D6 hit points of damage, a character who falls suffers D6 hit points of damage for every level of elevation above the bottom of the shaft, less a number of hit points equal to the character's armor class. There are 7 ledges, so each is 15 feet above the one below. Thus, a character with chainmail and a shield falling from the top of the shaft drops 120 feet and takes 6d6 minus 15 points of damage upon hitting the bottom. Whoa. Okay, so that is our example. I like the idea of somebody else having to come and get you out if you are hanging by a finger. What does everybody think about that? So that's our example. Let's see. Okay, so we got climactic battle, reward, and twist. We'll start at the top here. I like this. I like it. It's really good. Thank you, BGD. I was thinking yesterday about our thief situation. So that gives us an example of what it is that we are trying to get to, or what we're trying to do. I was thinking about our thief situation up here in the puzzle area. And one problem, we were trying to come up with some way for what the timer is going to be. So I thought yesterday, yeah, okay, so we said the timer. You don't have forever to get the gem. If it's in a fish, the fish could be about to escape, like salmon trying to get out of the water. We talked about ice melting or things like that. What I was thinking about yesterday, the problem with that is that it might only involve one character. The character who's gone down into the sinkhole. And so basically at that point, it sounds like there's going to be some rolling and whatever's going on down there with the thief. Presumably it's the thief who's going down, who is dealing with this fish down there. It would be better if the timer had to do with all characters. Like the descent into the sinkhole was causing further collapse. So you've got to, so we don't have to, maybe you don't have to worry about the fish trying to escape, but the thief, but the character has to get the fish with the gem, or, we might not even need the fish at that point. The fish with the gem, or just the gem. It might be enough to try to get down there, get the gem before the sinkhole collapses. And so the characters at the top might be trying to get the player out from under there, or trying to prevent the collapse as well. That was my thinking anyway. Yesterday after the stream. All right, let's start from the beginning then. And see what we can do, and we can collaborate on this. So we need description, timer, threat, treat, creature stats, and we'll do this on a timer. But we should say, so room one, we said that we're not actually starting. We're starting them at the entrance of the barrow, but the first encounter is basically the first room inside. So preamble. We'll say there's a preamble, which will be a brief description of the actual entrance to the barrow, and going into the first room. So that's the preamble. So entrance and guardian is our first scene. Oh, yes. The heroes find the doors. I thought I had some information on that. So the heroes find the barrow's door disturbed. Its seal, which held for many years, has been broken. The tracks the heroes have followed clearly enter this barrow. It's easy to get the door open, but it's dark inside. So they're going to have to light a torch. So that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about with this preamble. That's going in. Now, so this is the first chamber. So the purpose of this room was that this purpose, combat encounter with the barrow's first guardians. Undead goblins. Who are supposed to protect the barrow. Who were sworn in death to protect the barrow. And I think trapping the heroes in there is pretty good. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do with this entrance. So now we need a description, a timer, a threat, a treat, the creature stats. Let me prep. You got this from the Shadowdark Quick Start Guide. I don't have Shadowdark. Why no, I must have something electronic. So we can take take monster stats from. Let me see. Because I do want to have monster stats by hand. Shadowdark, some kind of PDF here. Shadowdark, quick start. I know I already have that. Well, we'll see. Okay. Well, I'll get that later then. Yeah, we can build them out using I've got the books, the Shadowdark book sitting over here too. It was just, I thought it would be easier to copy them over. Yeah, I didn't understand. Robert said, you said, do you just use the D20 to roll each scenario? I wasn't sure what you meant there. Is the idea to be able to just have a quick to make dungeon? I guess that's I've never used these random generators before like this to try to do a dungeon. So I would say yes, the idea would be to have a quick to make dungeon for people to explore. Like, now, actually, here's a great point. You're talking about quick to make. How quick does it need to be to make? If you're just running it as a one shot and other people aren't going to be running it, if you're just running a one shot and we're intending for this game to last between 2 and 3 hours, I've never thought about it from this perspective before. If you need a game to last 2 to 3 hours, how much prep should be required to run a 2 to 3 hour game? When the game master goes, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I'm running a game tonight. I'd better get ready. How long should the game master have to prep? Probably in that case, I would say an hour. So maybe BGD's 12-minute framework per encounter is pretty good. If you're planning on, playing for the next 20 years, then okay, spending a lot more time on it makes sense. But if you're only going to be playing a 2 to 4 hour game, how much time can you expect the game master to put into to prepping that? I would say no more than an hour. And it doesn't necessarily mean the case that, oh, listen, the game master can't prep for more than an hour. So here, take this module. Because a module may take an hour or more to read and understand, right? So it could take longer than an hour, even if you have a already made adventure module. Reading it, understanding it, and being able to run it well might take more than an hour anyway. Yeah, it seems like we spent 8 hours into learning the framework and then attempting to deploy it. Yeah. Well, we did. The first day, we had to remember what the 5-room dungeon was. So this is day 3. So yeah, we've spent too much time. Overall, we've spent too much time trying to put this together. We should be able to do one of these in one stream. BGD says, I think like a 60 to 90 minute stream. I think a little experience and good discipline, you can definitely design on an evening of gaming from scratch in 1 hour, especially if it's a one-shot adventure. I think that's a good design goal. And when I'm thinking about that, I'm going to think about that when I'm doing RPG design, that you need to be able to do an adventure inside an hour. I guess that's one of the reasons why I like games like Hero Quest and other adventure games like that, is that hey, let's do one, the game master doesn't have to do a lot of prep. You sit down and play. All right. So let's I got a timer sitting over here, so you'll be able to hear this when this goes off. Let's try to do this. I'm gonna set a timer for 3 minutes. On each one. 1, 2, 3. All right. So description of scene. We got 3 minutes for a description of scene. And I'm going to say go. Your torchlight flickers in a broad mausoleum, however you spell mausoleum, like chamber. Around the sides stand long dead goblin warriors, clad in armor and standing at attention. But they are their flesh standing at attention. In the center of the room are two funerary biers. Which upon which lay a dead-looking orc, a dead orc. None of these look as look as dead, look as decayed as you would like them to. A cold draft of air blowing from a corridor, passage, corridor deeper into the chamber. Makes your torch flicker, sputter for a moment. And the smell of orc dead wafts wafts what's the word I'm looking for? To your noses. Something like that. We can like that. Okay, so that was 3 minutes right there. Love the goblin undead. Very evocative. Tying in with, I was thinking about that. So that's what we got here. So that's what you walk into. How do you spell, like, I've spelled mausoleum so bad that even my autocorrect does not there we go. Does not understand what the word I was trying to write. Okay. So now, okay, so that's the description. So there we go. Now we got timer. What is our timer going to be here? So people can throw out suggestions, of course, in the comments and things like this. So at some point, these things are going to wake up. But I also think that we should trap them in here. So you can't just leave. I think it probably gets very classic for there to be a portcullis that drops right when the undead get up. I'm sitting here thinking that probably, let's see, when do they activate? This sounded like I was writing this kind of in to be read out loud. Let's say when the PCs pass the threshold of this chamber, they might as well go ahead and have it. Oh yeah, the purpose of this is to start on action anyway. So we could okay, so BGD says, so have the stone block collapse across the doorway in D4 rounds, and have them have the goblins reanimate at the end of the following round. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. Because we're also going to have in here How are we going to do this? We're blowing our timer already. The timer idea, because we were also going to have, if we're just jotting out notes, though, I think I could still run it. We were going to have an engraving in here. Let's say, there is an engraving. There are old runes written, carved above the chamber, the entrance, the door to the corridor in an arc. So people are going to want to go and investigate that, and that needs to say something about the gem. Something to give some kind of clue. Did you see how I wrote that? Clue as to what's in the chamber. What lies beneath. And that the gem might hold some kind of resolution. This gives the party a full round to consider their options and search the chamber before they need to fight. But studying those ruins will draw them inside. Okay. So okay, let's write then. I'm gonna start the next 3-minute timer. So we'll say after when the PCs pass the threshold of the chamber, a large stone slab will drop across the entrance to the barrow in D4 rounds. The players can use this time to investigate the goblin dead and the runes rather. Old, that should be runes. I always write the wrong one. The runes above the door. The time after the round after the door is sealed, the undead goblins awake from their slumber and attack the heroes. Or attack the PCs. I've been saying both. The only choices are to stand and fight or retreat deeper into the barrow. Is there something about this that would make what's going to make this fight here interesting? Is there some kind of timer? We'll also say that the undead will also immediately attack if the PCs damage them in any way. Let's see. So, is there something else that would make this exciting? Oh yes, attack. We're supposed to be focused on rage. Yes. We'll immediately attack with preternatural rage, giving no quarter and fighting to the last. Well, I put that in the wrong place. That was our timer. Okay. So our threat here, I'm not exactly sure how many of these goblins there should be. That might change depending on our situation. Depending on our situation with our PCs. Let me go over here to the Shadowdark main book. Oh, I opened it right to Goblin. Okay. We've got Goblin Boss. What are the skeleton's main advantages in this? So each one has something kind of special about it. Skeleton. Immune to morale checks. Oh, yeah, so they should be immune to morale checks. Hey, good morning, Zero. So a skeleton is AC 13 chainmail, HP 11, attack 1, short sword +1, or longbow far, move near. That's a level 2. A goblin is level 1. AC 11. Let's see what the difference is here. So AC 11, and that's with a club. I think we need to. These guys should have shields. And I'm thinking the one sitting on the beer should be special in some way. This may be too much. You can recommend one goblin per party member. Yeah, but this is a good opportunity for the DM to tune the challenge right to what? Yeah, I think so. Goblin number, that's your timer. Floor is littered with countless bones, all continuously reanimate until players execute some kind of action. Or just make the CR low enough to be manageable. It seems like the way that Shadowdark is doing this with undead is by giving them more hit points. I've noticed that's with the zombie, the skeleton. What is a zombie like? Skeleton has 11 hit points. That ogre has a lot of hit points. Let's see. But zombie also did. Oh, yeah. We looked at zombie because we had zombie in our learn to play. White zombie. A zombie has also 11 hit points, and it's level 2. I kind of feel like these need to drop faster. Well, that's what I was going back and forth on them. Zombie also immune to morale checks, relentless. If a zombie reduced to 0 HP by non-magical source. If a zombie is reduced to 0 HP by a non-magical source, DC 15 con to go to 1 HP instead. Okay, I don't think our goblins need to have that. So let's go ahead and go with more skeleton-like goblins. But I think that they're probably going to be a lot like goblins here. But it's no morale checks. Let me see if I can come up with... Yeah, it does sound tough. So, threat. The number of goblin sentries in the room can vary according to the numbers of the party. I think we ought to reduce their hit points so they tend to drop once they're hit. That way the heroes can be heroic. Oh, here we come. Whack. And they're taking him out. Oh, that's right. That's exactly what I was just talking about. We don't want a TPK here in the interest hall. A lot of excitement. That's why I was thinking about dropping their hit points, but then have a large number of fighting to the undeath. That's the way. That's what I think needs to happen here. Of heroes and PCs in the party, but the purpose of this encounter is to actually, I said that up here we had 2 on a beer. Yeah, we got 2 funerary beers. But also allow them to show off by dropping these goblin dead. Yeah, they could be subject to a lot of attacks. So I was thinking like 4, and then the 2 on the beer, when they sit up, they need to be a little bit more powerful. Let me see if I can find Shadowdark monster stats online. Shadowdark monster stats by level. Okay, this might help us bring these things in. Shadowdark car monsters occupied by level. Oh no, it's not. Doesn't give their stats. Well, we'll look at that later. It also makes the GM bookkeeping easy if they only take 1 hit point to drop. Yeah. So this is going to be. We'll just type something out here. I'm not sure if I had something to copy it from, we would for sure make it 3 minutes. But if not, we're gonna have to do it this way. So let's see. Undead Goblin Soldier. AC. Let's make them AC. I think they ought to be armored. Look at that in a moment. HP 1. Attack 1. Short sword. No, yeah, short sword. All right, yeah, this says club down here. 1d6 would be a lot of damage. I think short swords are 1d6. Short sword 1d6. Yeah. Why don't we just say rusted short sword, and that's why it's 1d4. Uh, 1d4. Is that +1? It says no, because of dex. No, so I'm sure what AL is. Close. Can't be surprised. And immune to morale checks. The goblins on the funerary beers. Well, that's true. You could do that too. Daniel says, incentivize entry rather than spooking them off. I go into a tomb and a bunch of skeletal men started grasping at me. I wouldn't hang around long unless I realized I could pulverize them with ease. Instead of attacking per se, maybe the non-boss goblins are attempting to restrain rather than damage. That could be too. Sharp sword, rusty. On the funeral beers are better armored elite undead goblin soldier. Elite undead goblin soldier. So let's see. This says AC 11 for a goblin, and I think that's because they've got no shields. But they've got a dex of +1. So maybe they aren't very dexterous anymore because they're dead. But they need to have a shield. A shield is +2. So we'll make these guys AC 12 overall. And we'll give these guys armor and a shield. So these guys are higher in AC, but I think they only need to have, let's give them, it seems like 3 or 4 HP. Can't be surprised and immune to morale checks. Elite undead goblin soldier. Let's say they are AC 14. It can only be one of these guys. And then attack 1. Well, we'll leave them rusty short sword too. But they're wearing armor. They're wearing the male armor and have a shield. Okay. Treat. So here's where we're supposed to. Oh, threat. So I put that under creature stats anyway. Or start. So we are starting on action. Trap the heroes inside of the first encounter with the ogre's undead bodyguard sentries. Hint at the existence of the gem here, letting the players know there might be more to this than just re-killing the undead, perhaps an engraving on the wall. All right, we got that. Do the heroes need to be trapped in this room first, like a portcullis? Okay, we did that too. So that was our notes here. Okay, the threat. So I put threat and stats together. So treat. What is our treat here? So this is elements of the encounter environment that the party can explore, use, collect, or otherwise interact with. Oh, well, okay, so I did copy down 1 here. BGD says, if you're going to outnumber the party at the gateway, I think it'd better effect if each goblin takes only 1 hit to kill. Oh, we do have to. What is skeleton charisma? Because they could also be turned. So another advantage of this, if you've got the priest coming with you, they could be turned. And the turning depends on a charisma check. A skeleton has a charisma of -1, but a goblin has a charisma of -2. So I think we should stick with charisma -2. We're going to need to know their charisma here. So this will also be strength, dex, charisma, constitution, wisdom, charisma. What is AL? AL is I have no idea. ALC. What is AL? And goblins have that at C. They can move near. Treat his minions go down with these, right? Your treat could be a magical kill switch that, if found and activated, puts the undead goblins back to sleep. And we're going to have to eventually be able to raise that stone door anyway. AL charisma. What was this thing? Oh, move near. That's MV near. It's probably obvious. Yeah, like a reset. Right. Yeah. I think we need something. We can have something like that. Because they could also keep coming until they find that. And I think that's what Daniel was saying in the beginning. Well, on the other hand, returning the gem to its location resets all. I mean, it resets all of the undead. Let's see. Let's go up here when we think about that move above the engraving. The engraving in Orcish. So if somebody reads Orcish, here's the place. Oh, AL alignment. Oh, I bet that's it. Alignment C chaotic. That's what it is. Alignment C for chaotic. That's it. That's what AL is. Charisma. No, that's charisma is going to be -2. So you can turn them. In Orcish, engraving says in Orcish, herein lies within this tomb lies the great orc ogre, whatever he's going to be, orc ogre warrior Growlgol. Let's take out the L. Growlgol. And the gem of name. And with him for eternity. And the gem of name with him for all eternity. We'll start with that. Of course, the treat could be also, I guess the engraving could be the treat. All right, so room or puzzle challenge. Is that one done? Could you run this one? Could you run that encounter? I think you could. And probably, even if you can't deactivate them right now, they might reassemble. Yeah. BGD says, I think I could run that room. So room 2. So basically we got this one pretty much done. I think this one's completely runnable too. So as the PCs go deeper into the barrow, so this is kind of what's going on. They trigger a retractable spear trap that is spiked, a retractable spike gate trap. A retractable barbed spike gate trap with barbs, but it's intended to smash shooters as they walk through. But this time, the heroes narrowly avoid the trap and find the mangled body of a thief that's still attached to the spikes. The thief has become undead, but is unable to get himself off the spikes. He might start trying to claw at the heroes, but his mind may not be completely gone yet, and he wants the gem. Having the name of the gem over there helps that, and may have a warning for the heroes probably about the undead ogre he awakened. All right, so we need to do timer in here. We're not doing frog. We do need description. I mean, that's quite a bit of description up there anyway. But we can do like a quick write of something to tell the heroes. Description. Timer, threat, treat, creature stats. Well, we need to come up with the better timer that I think can involve all of these. But the description, as you pass beneath, let me start a timer here. I'll start a 3-minute timer. As you pass beneath the corridor, the door, engraving over the door, you enter a narrow passage. The sound of water dripping from somewhere. Is echoing from somewhere. The stones the flagstones are rough cut. By the claws of goblins. And there's an uneasy feeling. Of the orc dead. Uneasy feeling of the orc dead. As the party passes, a stone halfway down, they hear a click. And can respond as the spiked gate trap comes crashing down to smash the lead party member. Orin, the thief, who had previously tried to raise the mangled undead body of Orin. Tried to raid the tomb and stolen the gem. Is hanging impaled on the trap. Okay, so but then we basically know what happens there. So right here, so here's our description. Here's what is going to happen. They have the conversation, which we already went through. So his mind isn't completely gone. He's not fully undead yet. He still has a little bit, and he can discuss things with the discuss things while hanging on the gate, warning the heroes of what is beneath, and that what he did, he awoke the undead when he took the gem. He's in pain and agony. And he says that when he was killed, when this trap hit him, the gem fell down the crevasse. That's where you get the water, because there's a sinkhole beneath this area, and it has fallen into the sinkhole. So the gem, we said we're going to use ropes and iron spikes to send somebody down there after it. You're right. BGD says timers are not absolutely mandatory for every encounter area, but they do help maintain the pace and excitement of the table. And sometimes I think the timer might as well be in a combat encounter. I mean, it is your hit points and your supplies. So in a combat encounter, the number of spells you have and things like that. So the thing that's being counted down are your hit points, and you need to solve the problem before then. In this kind of encounter, we're not using hit points as a counter. But there needs to be some kind of problem, I think, some kind of challenge with trying to get the gem that involves all of the players. Daniel says, hard timers hurt the principle of the game, in my opinion. Players dictate pacing, but the GM should reserve the utility of pressing urgency in some scenarios. I think fight music in video games. So I think the only thing that we have to do with this encounter right here is think of something more exciting than the fish is going to escape. Let's just put they can just see the gem down there, or they can say that if they go down into the sinkhole, they can see the gem down there. Could and of course this is Shadowdark, so we're going to have a timer anyway with the torch. They may be carrying multiple torches, but torches can go out later, especially in this one down here with the black, with the raging winds. They're going to be on a torch timer anyway. What is a challenge to get that gem? Collapse is one of the only things that I can think of. Well, I don't know. I can't think of much. But nonetheless, okay, so if you get the gem, go down there, get the gem. We don't know what the gem does. We wanted it to have some type of benefit. We've got wizard here. We've got cool stuff that the thief is doing. The fighter's getting to fight. The gem stat. Undead return to sleep, but also what's a good magic item? We were trying to think of that yesterday. We're saying we could adopt some type of crystal ball. Only the wizards can use the crystal ball. That's scrying. Dagger of the goblin hero. Genie lamp. Gloves of agility. Goblin bomb. Gauntlets of might. Helm of mind reading. Hat of the hound. You can transfer hat of intellect. Horned helm of ramlet. Jewel of Barbalt. Oh, Jewel. We got Jewel here. Oh, okay. Well, now hang on. What if this is based on the Jewel of Barbalt? You roll a critical success on an 18 to 20. You roll a critical failure on 1 to 3. Okay, so let's use that. Why not? The gem. the gem of whatever. This needs to be this. I like this. The coconut. That way the fish doesn't swallow it. A coconut sized glowing green gem with a gentle gentle glow. Benefit: you roll a critical success the character who is carrying the gem one slot receives the following benefits and curses. Benefit: you roll a critical success on 18 to 20. Curse: you roll a critical failure on a 1 to 3. Yeah, the gem is the kill switch for the all the undead in the dungeon, especially when they're going to fight down at the very bottom. BGD says, I like the idea of a timer on a current within the pool pushing the gem along. If the PCs don't recover it here, it washes deeper into the dungeon where it can still be recovered with greater danger. That's an interesting idea. I like that. I like that too. Okay. So we can have this instead of this being a pool. Okay, the timer. They don't have so the fish stuff is going. And the I like this too. Okay, I like that. I like that, BGD. Let's see. We'll start our timer here. When the players see the soft glow of the gem from above, they see that it is near. They can throw a torch down. Or they see the above. But when they investigate further, they find that the gem is on a ledge being slowly moved by the water, by the current of the underground stream. It can be retrieved, but in D4 rounds, the current will wash the gem further into the dungeon, where it can be found over a ledge. We'll wash the gem over a ledge and deeper into the dungeon. Or the barrow, where it can be found in a room below, protected. We were going to have an ooze, a room below protected by an ooze. So maybe you don't have to worry about the ooze if you've got the gem. Protected by a black ooze. I like that. I like that. So you've got to figure out what you're going to do. Somebody's got to go down there. It's dark, so you're going to see it's glowing. Because it kind of seems like if you throw a torch down, gives a moment. A fleeting moment to see. Before it's extinguished by water. So you really don't know what you're getting into. So if this player spend too much time, if the players spend too much time, this seems like a good place to use more real-time stuff. They only have a certain amount of real time. But for some reason, the Shadowdark only uses real time for the torch timers. But you could say they've got 5 minutes. So if they spend too much time wondering what's down there and, oh, do we go down there, or who goes down there, or how do we prepare, then you got to go deeper to get the gem. If not, it's there. I like that. That's our ooze. Yes. Okay. I think I could run that encounter. Then we go to room 3, the Raging Winds. So this is when we go down. So this is BGD provided this as our example. So we got that. Once you're down, the climactic battle. This is obviously, we need description here. Oh my God, we have done this an hour and a half. And now the boss fight. Oh, we need a boss fight. We need this to, we were supposed to conclude today. This is so that we did not at all make our 12-minute per battle here. I think we're going to need to finish this tomorrow. So the climatic battle, I think we'll have to finish this tomorrow. Hey, hi, Vincent. Hi. I think we're going to have to finish this tomorrow. Yeah, we did get pretty far, and I like the way this is going. So yeah, let's handle the ogre, the climatic battle. They'll need so there need to be like 2 rooms down here, even though this is room 4. But we'll need to go to the, like, if they're down there and they're trying to figure out what to do with this this ogre, they could run into a room with an ooze, and they would see the gem again. All right, so basically we know where this is going. So people have been enjoying this. I noticed we've got a lot of attendance, a lot of people watching, so a lot of people must have been enjoying this. Please do like the stream. All right, now I'm not sure if we're having a morning grind tomorrow because I'm not sure what my travel or situation is going to be. I might end up having to be on the road during the morning grind tomorrow, but I will put that information, if I'm gone, I will put that information in the Raven Keep Discord server. So let me go and put the Discord server link right here. Discord link. Because if I'm there, then it looks like Sunday I would be broadcasting from Neutral Zone Studios. I just got to see. So things to do, and it's cold. So, all right. Everybody have a wonderful day. Go forth, be creative, be constructive, and grind on. Later.